they just are incredible at editing. They'll do an interview where they'll cut in and they'll start the person talking, then they'll talk over it. It's all edited together, so that it's just a really unique way that they do interviews. And they'll start the person talking, then they'll explain what he's about to say, and they'll cut the interview down to like 60 seconds. And it's just really, it's one of the heavy downloaded iTunes podcasts. It's just.
And what's editing? I don't
Yeah,
understand. You speak of it, and I don't know.
I was curious about actually your guys' edit, because we edit nothing. We edit in music. I'm sorry, Joe edits in music. And the only time I've ever edited anything else, like if a creator said, "Oh, I didn't mean to say that. That's a spoiler." Okay, we'll take it out. But I know some other people who like will edit out every or and I'm like, that's painstakingly, like, must take you days.
We're forced because it is sort of affiliated with the school that we're forced to, like, any cuss words have to bleep, have to drop. And now one of the grad students, I kiss her feet in the ground that she walks on, because we were doing round robin editing where I was training everybody to edit, and now she's like, I'll do all the editing. And she's here for another 2 years, so I'm like,
train a Padawan.
Yes.
You fail, you're staying.
Yeah. I know. You go nowhere.
Yeah. I edit out my laughter. I got the loudest damn laugh.
But that's
People
great.
give
You
me-
have a good laugh. You have a really good
it's
laugh,
just-
identifiable.
Yeah, I have people tell me they can find me the show from another location.
We just treat it like it's live.
Yeah.
I run the board as if I'm live on the air, and if we screw up, we talk about the screw up. It becomes part of the show, and that's it. Because I don't have
Joe's
time.
the same thing, yeah.
5 shows a week, I don't have time to edit anything.
Yeah, that's right. You possibly could.
Yeah, no, there's no way.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, props and kudos to people that do take the time to edit like that. Because we do weekly, but it's like, Joe, we all have real lives too, do other things, and Joe, edits, it takes him, a little bit, he's pretty quick at it, but just to edit the music in or certain things and, put the interviews in, it takes a little bit of time, not a lot, but I can imagine if we sat we actually had to do something recently because somebody did, for the first time in a long time, ask us to take something out, they didn't even say it. So we kind of just sit through and listen to it and find out where it was said.
Yeah, it's
it
like,
was
if your episode's an hour and a half, it's like, oh, I gotta listen for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
When did he say it?
Oh,
And the first,
Sometimes you miss it the first read,
Yeah.
like listen through, and you got to go through, and it's like, whenever I train somebody on editing, I'm like, listen, the first time you edit, it's going to take you 6-8 hours, something like that, to edit the first time around for an hour and a half show.
yeah.
I'm good at that.
Charlito does some mixing and stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does most of the editing. I only do it when I absolutely have to. He likes to do it. He tries to adjust the levels nicely. Because like you said, I'm the calm one, and kind of low, and he's more high and bouncy all over the place. And he likes to add in little bits and stuff here and there. If you ever listen to the show, he likes to. Sometimes he'll do some songs or some goofy, comedic bits. He's an improv comedian, so he likes to just kind of riff on some things. So sometimes it takes him a while to get around to actually recording it and then editing it in. So.
Hey, you guys used Yoko the Clown recently.
He's like, no, don't say you guys.
Wow.
I usually don't know what he's up to until he sends me the completed show, and I'm like, Charlie,
I
what
feel like
the hell
this
is
is Joe talking to me. I need to say, Charlie and I are very similar with our sketch comedy background stuff. I'll just randomly come in with a song one day or a sketch I wrote, and Joe will be like, what do you got?
he surprises me with.
He's like, yeah, I do too. I show up with it. He's like, all right, where's the music? What's that? I'm like, so good. Oh, yes,
Sometimes I tell him, like, this is so ridiculous. It can't stay in the show. I'm just going to edit it out. He's like, no, come on, they're going to love it.
It's the best one.
You're singing a song, like, as a penis. Like, no.
That's the best.
That's a little too off track.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of editing. We don't. We do when it's like the 4 of us sitting around just kind of shooting or whatever I want to say. Since you may use it. But no, we do a little bit of editing that when it's just us. But anytime we're doing an interview, unless you've got your space and the PA system came on it.
Or unless, like, we interviewed in the fall Chris Claremont, and he just talks and talks and talks.
And we ran that straight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I ran most of it straight, but there was a couple times where he just kept on going where I had to cut a little here, cut a little there. He just rambles. Sweet man, but just kept on talking.
It's easier being a one-man show. All I gotta do is hit the pause button. Bring it back up, and there we go.
Nice.
Murd does that when he's recording his time bubble episodes. He will, because he's all by himself, so he'll talk, and then when he gets to the end of a thought, he will pause, look at his notes, gather his thoughts, and then begin again. And so he doesn't really have to edit. He just has to make sure those little bits are right up against each other. Yeah.
There's a radio DJ sound machine.
What are everybody's thoughts on promotion? Like our goal is obviously to get more listeners so that the shows can be more self-supportive and reach a larger audience and grow the medium as a whole as well as our individual shows. And that seems to be the biggest roadblock, is how, without spending $1 million, how the heck do you get more people to find your shows?
Well, it's difficult. Obviously, I don't do much promotion at all, but I think my show has led to promotion. For instance, the calendars that I've been involved with have led to promotion. But, really word of mouth, people that want to learn about Golden Age comic books,
Right.
they'll find the show. And I think that's how I do it. I have a niche topic. People will find it. They'll listen to it.
I think oh, go ahead. I was going to say, I guess it's a little incestuous, right? If we interview somebody, then they put the link on their website to their interview, and then their fans listen, and then maybe, a fifth of those people will decide to keep listening or something like that.
I think it's also traveling, like a lot of us, travel to a lot of conventions, and we're not going to pick up 1,000 listeners every convention, but we'll pick up a few.
Pick up 10.
Yeah, exactly. Then they hang out. They might tell somebody, and like you said, I think the biggest one is when we have any creator or be it what type of interviewee we have, and try to get them to say, and a lot of them do, because they love, like, hey, I was on this show, listen to me, and then their fans or followers or whatever will listen. They may not come back, but we've certainly had, which I'm sure you guys have had, where you have a certain person on, and I've had people come like, oh, I don't really read comics, but I did when I was a kid, and it's sort of, when you guys are used to it, kind of it's nostalgic for me, so I'd listen now because of that, and then your interviews, whatever, so.
Yeah, our biggest shows are every fall we have our comics art forum where we get like 6 to 10 creators that come in, and so we just record that whole panel discussion, put that on, and that's probably one of our biggest downloads. And then they, like you said, it's incestuous. They link our podcasts on their site, and then we get a lot of hits from that. And then thankfully, because we do have our podcast DJs who they graduate, they move on, and they go to all the cons throughout the year, they are constantly like, hey, you should listen to this podcast, this is where we start, got our kind of fans coming to us, and I think that blows their minds, that there are enough listeners where they'll go to a convention and they're like, oh, hey, you're Jared, or you're so-and-so, I listened to you, I've listened to you for the past year, let me buy a book of yours, and because I've been listening to it this whole time, and I'm really interested. So it's a little different for us, I think, just because we do get a lot of the students who are on the show, they leave, but they still listen and they still promote at all the cons for us, which is nice. So it kind of grows a little bit every year for people that kind of try to pull in more listeners for us.
We have a very open door policy on Google Interview. So we catch a lot of people that are very earlier in their career. I mean, literally, I just stapled this morning, and we have full conversations with them. And